Good morning, and welcome to the start of this Science House track. The next 3 sessions are all going to be about science, and really pleased to be here with Kamila Markram. As noted, she is a neuroscientist, and she's the CEO of Frontiers. If you're not familiar with it, it's an open science publisher based in Switzerland. She co-founded it with her husband, Henry Markram, who we're also going to be hearing from this morning. Now, Frontiers has an editorial program of over 200 open access journals covering more than 1,700 specialty areas, and it constitutes one of the largest editorial boards in scientific publishing. It has published the work of over 3 million authors, and its research articles have been cited more than 10 million times and viewed over 4 billion times. She has launched initiatives like Frontiers for Young Minds, a journal which engages children in reviewing scientific articles, and the Frontiers Planet Prize, a global competition that rewards and funds groundbreaking research to maintain planetary health. She holds an MSc in psychology from the Technical University of Berlin, did her master thesis at the Max Planck Institute for Brain Research in Frankfurt, and obtained an award-winning PhD in neuroscience from the Swiss Federal Institute, Lausanne. Her groundbreaking intense world theory of autism was featured in popular science magazines and was the subject of a book about her family entitled The Boy Who Felt Too Much. This fireside chat will focus on the need for open science and why Frontiers has decided to launch Science House in Davos during the World Economic Forum's annual meeting. So we'll hear more about Science House in a moment, but let's start with Frontiers and the need for open science. Talk a little bit about why you and Henry decided to launch it.
Thank you, Jennifer. So I think Frontiers was created really out of a frustration. We are scientists, neuroscientists, and we publish our research articles. And what we discovered during that publishing process, that there is a lot of problems in traditional publishing. From the peer review, how articles are being peer reviewed, there's a lot of politics and lobbyism in it, to the way how science is in the end disseminated. When I published my first research paper as a PhD student, I actually, our university, one of the richest universities in the world, the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Lausanne, we did not have the subscription to that particular life science journal. So I ended up buying my own research paper with my own credit card, right? And at that time, it kind of dawned on me that if I can't have access my own research, publicly funded research with taxpayers' money, what about other researchers in maybe less fortunate universities? What about parents of autistic children? What about doctors? How will they know the latest advancements in autism and cancer and so on? So from discussing this a lot with our colleagues and complaining about the publishing system, we decided, that's it. Naively, we thought, we can change it. It's such a great idea, making science openly accessible to anybody in the world. This will be an overnight change. It's such a revolutionary, amazing idea. Well, it takes a while to make science really open. When we started 18 years ago, 10% maybe of the science was openly accessible. Today, it's maybe 50%.
And that's thanks to Frontiers.
And others as well, but yes, you do need to set a flag and show the world that it is possible, the same way that electric vehicles are showing the world that yes, you can drive in a better way. But it's not done yet. There are, I would say, amazing examples that show the power of open science. COVID, for example, that's an unsung hero story of open science. Few people know it, but the moment when the genetic sequence of the coronavirus was shared, labs across the entire world actually started racing for the vaccine the very same day. Couple of months later, it was decided by the White House that all of the research articles around the coronavirus need to be made openly accessible. At that time, it was around 30,000 research articles because we already had MERS and SARS. By the end of 2020, there was 1 million research articles all in one database, mandated by politics to be openly accessible. And that is the fundamental reason why we got vaccines and treatments on such a short time frame, never ever seen before in human history. Within 1 year, a vaccine and so many treatments that saved millions of lives and also turboed our economies up again, because we were in stealth mode, right, in lockdowns.
Yet, despite that incredible success and the proof that open science has real impact,
Yes.
we've gone backwards. How do you explain that?
It makes no sense at all. There is no explanation for it. It's true. By 2020, all the coronavirus research was openly accessible. Today, it's 50%. It's gone back behind subscription paywall. So I would say the fight is not over. We have to keep on showing how important open science is. And that's one of the reasons why we're actually launching the Science House in Davos. It's one of our 2 objectives, to showcase to high-level decision makers in policy, but as well the business leaders, that there is a simple way of how to turbocharge our economies. It's a very cost-effective way as well, and that is to simply say, at least the research that is publicly funded at our research institutions at universities, at least that research needs to be openly accessible, because that's the best return on investment, and that is as well what's going to accelerate any type of innovation and turbocharge our economic growth, because in the end, everything today is based on science, whether it's this chair, how we come to Davos or to Munich by train, by plane. Everything is science today.
Let's talk about the importance of open science to planetary health.
Yes. That's actually the next, after the public health crisis that we faced with COVID, and it was solved thanks to science and, of course, global collaboration, we now face, for quite a few years already, the planetary health crisis, right? There is 9 planetary boundaries. 6 of those have already been transgressed, and we're very rapidly approaching those tipping points, whether it's in ocean acidification, in loss of biodiversity, deforestation, and of course, the biggest one of them all, climate change. We have to move from carbon-fueled economies towards net zero clean economies within just 30 years. And the whole world needs to change across all political systems. We will need a hell of a lot of science in order to save this or to address this challenge. There are already a lot of solutions out there, but we will need to produce many more solutions, from fusion technology to better batteries for storing energy to food security. There is a lot of science that is necessary. We need to turbocharge the science. We need more funding, of course. But again, the simple way of how to accelerate, COVID has shown us that we can, is to make it openly accessible, everything, and not just in a specific sector of science, not only the medical research or not only the climate research, but across the board, because that is what is accelerating everything else.
Despite the crucial need to do this, there has probably never been a lower amount of belief or trust in science. We even have policymakers in the US completely ignoring the established science. What can we do to kind of turn that around?
Yeah, that is really a conundrum today. Again, I think not having access to the science, people read about science secondhand in blogs, but we do need to give people, but as well today as well machines, because it's not just people reading the science today, but it's as well machines. We got to give people access to the research articles, to the real data behind these research articles as well, which can then power machines to make much better decisions, much more informed decisions. But that is actually our first objective of the Science House as well. Bring the scientists in front of the decision makers, give them a seat at the decision level because these are the people that are behind fusion technology. These are the people who are bringing people to the moon, right? So they know the data, they know the facts, they have the evidence, and they do need to have a seat at the table to be right there and say, no, this is the better technology. Let's invest in this one because I know I've spent 20, 30 years researching this type of technology.
So let's talk about what Science House is and what you're, what it's going to look like, what you're doing in Davos next week.
So we are putting together a house straight in the middle of the promenade in the Europa Hotel. So it's really very prominent, and it's going to be the home to scientists at Davos. We're bringing a lot of scientists. We have, as you said, this huge network of amazing scientists serving on our editorial boards. We write with the web several of their technology reports, where we bring our scientists together as well to help writing these reports, and we're going to showcase them smack in the middle of the promenade to all of these people. We believe that they need to have a seat at the decision table. So we're going to be discussing fusion energy. We're going to be discussing the next quantum computing, the future of intelligence. We have artificial intelligence, but the real intelligence is still AGI, the one technology that we know that works best for any type of intelligence to solve any type of problem is the human brain. That's the next frontier of AGI, so digital brains, so to say. We're going to be discussing as well planetary health, a whole dedicated day dedicated just to planetary health. And then, of course, as well, human health, from personalized medicine for cancer to mapping out the whole immunological system of humans to drive medicines and human health and increase health spans.
So for any of you who are going on to Davos, you can sign up to attend the sessions at Frontiers Science House on the web. And I guess there's something like 60 sessions. The kickoff is at 3 o'clock on Monday. There will be senior leadership from Novartis and Microsoft, 5 university presidents present. And the innovator is very happy to be a media partner. I will be there much of the time as well. And don't miss the closing session on next Friday, where a panel will be discussing the science roadmap to 2035. So, Kamila, this is the first time Frontiers is doing this. What will success look like?
I think if we can start a collaboration between a scientist and a company, if we can help drive the right decision, the right policy decision, that will be success. But for me, the raison d'etre, like for our company and why I get out of the bed every single morning, we have a mug actually in Frontiers that says, "I'll sleep when all of science is open." And to me, that's really why I get up in the morning. So that will be success. I'll sleep when it's open.
Okay. Well, any last thoughts or?
That's it.
Okay. Well, with that, we'll invite any of you coming to Davos, come to Frontiers House, and let's have a nice round of applause for Kamila.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer.